Let me thank all the people that we involve every year. This is the third year we are doing this research, and we involve more than 40 people around the world to have their view, how is the book market doing and what is the expected trend for the future. We have been presenting this research. This is a live research, as we call it, here in Milan, in Frankfurt, London, in New York, and we are very happy to present it also this year. This first page is what was the market in like the major continents last year and this in 2011, 2012. So we see a very significant growth in Europe. This is driven not only by UK, from UK as you see before, but also from other countries like Germany, France, and partially Italy. US or North America, this is including Canada, is growing very fast, but as the speaker before was mentioning, the growth is stabilizing a little bit. Then we have another very interesting market that is just at the infancy stage, that is South America. As you probably know, Amazon entered the South American market, and so we expect this market to be very large and consistent for next year. Also, Asia is a very interesting market. India is not like as large as we were expecting, so also Asia will see a very significant growth for the future. This is a very dense page. As Marco was mentioning, you will have this presentation in the website, so you can download it and take the time you need to look at the numbers. We just want to highlight some figures here. First of all, as Italy is 1.5%, this is a typo here. The number of titles is 35,000, but still what we see.
Sorry, this is a mistake. The number of titles at the end of 2012 were 35,000, not 25,000. So it was
larger than that. Still, what we want to highlight here is that the number of titles in Italy is lower than other countries that is somehow comparable, like France, Germany. And this is, let me say, something that is not letting the market grow as much as we would like to. And probably this is a threat also for our market, given that customers are unfortunately looking also for illegal downloading. And this is also confirmed by the fact that we have, in terms of penetration, in terms of tablets, a significant number that is quite comparable, for example, to Germany, but still the penetration of Italy is lower than Germany. This year we want also to include a new number, that the ebook buyer in terms of million is not an easy number to find, also because it's not comparable numbers between different markets. But still you see the numbers are significant. The market, the customer base for publisher is getting bigger and bigger. And so these numbers, we believe, should be taken into account for the following years to come. Then, as we mentioned, there is India, so the number of buyers is significant. We don't have, let me say, very good numbers, so we didn't want to show them. We collected some of them, but we expect this number is going to drive the growth of this market for the future. So India will be a very interesting market, not only in the print part, as presented before, but also in the digital part. So this year we did also an analysis on the quantity, the volume, so not only the value of the market, given the price of a book as presented before, and in each market is much lower than the print book. The penetration in volume terms is higher, typically almost twice as much as the value one. For the Italian market, we see 2.5%. Also this year we started collecting the self-publishing part of the market. You see the US is 2% out of the total market, but we expect other countries, as the market is growing, this number will be higher and higher and will be, should be taken into account by all the publishers and retailers in the market. This is a comparison of the expected growth that was coming from the people we interview around the world and the actual numbers. So for example, if we take the graph on the top left, and we see in UK, when we interviewed publishers last year, they were expecting to have about 10% penetration of the ebook market in 2012. Okay? and they saw the market and they were in the market. So actually the growth was much higher than that, was 14%. The numbers that you see before was up to 16% by the end of the year, but the average number is 14%. So we see, for example, in UK, that the market is growing faster than the people, the publishers and retailers working in the market that we're expecting. And this is confirmed in all the markets. And this is just 1 year after. So our view from this point of view, is from this perspective, is that the market is growing faster than the expectation in all the markets. So we expect also for the following years these numbers to go up. So for example, if we take Italy, the expectation last year for 2012 were 1%, then is 1.5%. So we're increasing, let me say, the people we interviewed are increasing this number. So we expect probably next year to see this line is growing faster than this, as we saw in UK. If we look in terms of the same analysis in terms of quantity, so in terms of downloads, we see a very interesting number that US, as we saw, is 36%. This is including self-publishing in 2012. This is the number of downloads out of the total ebook and physical and digital books sold. We see that in 2 years from now, more than 50% of the book will be digital. Sold will be digital in US. And in UK, 2 years from now, will be 1/3. And if we see the rest of Europe, again, this line will be at least 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 7. Or 1 out of 5 if we look at 2015. And we expect this line, again, this line is coming from interviews. We expect, from our point of view, this line to be quite steeper than this in the near future. Then look at price, the bad part of the analysis. So if we exclude UK, that is, as you know, in terms of laws and market dynamics, different behavior than other European countries, but if we take the other countries, what we saw is that the price went down from between 10 and 12% in Europe to 6 and 7%, with some countries lower than 6, 7 euros, with some countries lower, some countries a little bit higher. But still, the decline of the price is very clear. What is interesting is that the range of the price is very high, between 7, 8, or even more, and 0 point something. So the question is, what do we expect for the future?
Yes, because the presented scenario is not such encouraging, it seems at least, because it's a market which is growing in quantities but declining in prices. So it's not such a wonderful situation for publishers. What we want to address this year is a message which won't be positive, because we see some opportunities out there. The first thing to say is that probably we are in the position to look at our market in a different way. Probably our market is we are not in the digital publishing market anymore. We are in a market we could define in a different way. We are in the market of publishing, telling stories in a digital context. So the key word which better describes the market we are is no more publishing. It's probably digital. So we have to think in a different way. And there are signs. Bob Stein, who will present later on this morning, wrote a wonderful article published on La Lettura on last Sunday. And he was writing that there are signs of a shift towards a culture based on the web. And experiments in social reading and the great multiplayer games represent the first signs of this shift. So what are the opportunities out there? We mentioned some of them. The first one is try to collaborate with other media players. We were mentioning, and you will listen, mentioning afterwards many times the movie industry or the gaming industry, for example. Think of your market in a much broader way. Readers are not only people who buy ebooks, unfortunately. There are a number of people who download free books, legally or illegally. There are self-publishers. Are there ways to monetize this part of the market? Probably we start seeing some ways to do this. Try to enhance content and services. So if these opportunities are out there, how can we try to catch them? And so we move to the last slide. What we want to address, and this is the reason why we also structure the program of the day on these 3 keywords, we have all to integrate technology, data, and content. No way we don't own, we don't have full control of the technology we use to tell the stories, to tell or to publish, say, our stories. If we don't, technology enables the interactions with authors, with contents, and with readers. If we don't have full control of the technology, we basically don't know where we are positioned in the market. Data, enabling these interactions and being in the middle of these interactions gives us a number, a huge quantity of data relating to content, authors, and readers. Very likely, part of this data, a big part of this data, a big portion of this data, have value. Just one example. Try to think, no, you know there are many corporations belonging to a number of different industries. Think of fashion, food, banking, and many other industries, which are really eager to get in touch with communities on the web. And you know what? They tell stories to these communities to engage a relationship with these communities. But telling stories is our job. And we have data if we know we have data regarding the interaction between us, between the content, between the stories and the community, probably we are in the best position to provide services to these guys. And content, well, only thinking of content, of publishing content, probably is not enough anymore. So this is the message you will probably go through along the program of this day, and that's it.